Okay, yeah, Marines, this first period instruction is going to be on different uniforms, your different types of uniforms, and devices you will wear with your uniforms. First uniform we're going to go over is your PT uniforms. For recruits, that's gray sweatpants, plain white t-shirt, and gray sweatpants. Make sure the grays are the same color. We have this problem all the time. One solid set of grays, your name stenciled with black lettering in the back clearly so we can see. Um, Also, I would invest in a good pair of running sneakers. Regular PT sneakers fine. They don't have to be super fancy. These are just Nike. No, you don't have to worry about, oh, they're not, name brand or anything like that. Just regular running sneakers, just so you can use. They're gonna get all torn up anyway. Doesn't matter. Um, then when you graduate and become a young Marine, you get your PT sweats. Um, you have two times. You have summertime and wintertime. First ones we're gonna go over is summertime, and that will be a red Young Marine T-shirt, black in the back, plain in the back, as you wear. Your name will go on the white tag on the inside, and then also underneath it on the sweatband right in here. This one doesn't have my name on it, but this one does, right like that. Just so you're able to know it's yours if you're sleeping in a bay with other males, or if you're a female sleeping in the bay with other females. You know what's yours and when to grab it fast. You have the red is unlisted. I know some units are differently. We do red unlisted, and your green is your NCO. And same thing on the tag and on the back. I have two sets of each, just because you always could use extra. You can always buy extra. Um, with that, you have your PT shorts, and your PT shorts were folded over there. Um, but same thing, name on the back, and then it's regular shorts, says South Coast Young Marines. Um, Always wear the PT shorts no matter what, even if you're in your wintertime PTs. Um, Always wear your PT shorts underneath because you never know if you're going to go inside, and you're going to take your PT sweat trousers off to do PFT or something. You'll always be able to have them there. Um, for males, wear comfortable compression shorts, spandex shorts underneath. You want to wear something comfortable where you're able to move around in, especially for PT uniforms. You'll be do a lot of running, either team building, whatever it might be, whatever your task for the day might be. But you want to be able to move around in them. Then we go to wintertime. You have your PT sweatshirt. Same thing, name goes in, except it's black, so it's going to go on the white tag. Says it'll have your unit, the Young Marine logo. Back is just enlarged. You have your sweat shirt, and then you have your sweat trousers. Um, and the front has the logo on the left side, on the left leg. You put your name on the trousers. And the back are plain. Different PT uniforms are universal. Depends on your unit's command and how your unit's set up for staff. The South Coast PTs, mostly for 2nd Battalion. Um, PTs you're able to wear no matter what. So we may say wear your PT shorts with sweatshirt if it's cold in the morning. That's because your legs will be running around. You're not going to be too sitting there freezing because you don't stand still during PT anyway. And then as it gets warmer, we'll take the sweatshirt off. Those are your PT uniforms. After your PT uniforms, I'll keep the shirts out because we'll need them. Then we go into your BDUs, battle dress uniform. It consists for recruits. We'll go over recruits first. You'll have, I have different sets. I have two sets. I have a field uniform, and then I have a drill uniform. I used to have a third, but I grew it, and that was a ceremonial uniform. So I had three different ones, but I only have two sets of BDUs now. And it's your BDU trousers, woodland camo. You have your blouse. I'm just going to show you my field one. I don't have any patches on this one. This one's a new one. Um, Woodland camo, and then you have your cover. I don't have my cover right now because I have a young Marine that's borrowing it. But you'll have also your black boots, jungle boots, which I have right here, and you'll shine those up. And on all the uniforms, I'll be giving a demonstration on maintenance and care of them, and how to iron them in another video. This is just going over all the different types of videos, different types of uniforms. Once you get past there, then you have service uniforms. You have 3 service uniforms: Alpha, Bravos, and Charlies. You rarely see uniforms on a regular basis. You'll never really see service uniforms unless it comes for ceremonial use, or you're looking at the national magazine, something of that. You'll see service uniforms there. I have all 3 service uniforms: Alpha, Bravos, Charlies. At South Coast, you do get issued service uniforms depending if you're on drill team, color guard, or honor guard, but you do not keep your uniforms once you graduate. Once you graduate the program and you've graduated high school, you do have to return your service uniforms. Okay, on the BD uniforms, you have roughly 4 components. You have your name tapes, Young Marines, and your last name. You have your chevrons, then you have your rocker, and then you have the national patch. It would be a unit rocker. So this is my drill uniform. Um, it's a little messy right now. Haven't ironed it yet. That's what I'm doing. The next video is iron all my uniforms. I try to iron them at least drill one at least once every 2 weeks. I don't do too much drill moving around. So it doesn't get too bad, but once you really start doing drill, or at South Coast we do PT and team building in these, so they get messed up fast. So you probably will have to do them every single week, which is not bad. I don't recommend doing it on a drill night. Do not do it on a drill night. Do it the day before, just in case something does happen where, okay, plans arrived, you have to stay after school to make up work or do another extracurricular activity, and you don't have time to iron your uniform. Now you have to show up to drill, and you're unprepared, and you're not ready for success. So you have your chevrons. I'm a sergeant, so I have sergeant chevrons. I have 2 here, then I have 2 here. These are faded. You can take a black Sharpie and cover in the silver if you start to fade. You have in the back, they're called dammits, little silver backings, and they hold them in place. I have 2 on this one. That's the front. You have sergeant. Of course, you can tell by the stripes. It's either no chevron at all. It's private E1. You have 1 stripe is private first class E2. Then you have lance corporal, which is 1 stripe cross rifles. You have 2 stripes cross rifles corporal, 3 stripes sergeant, 3 stripes in a rocker with cross rifle staff sergeant, and so on. That's all in your basic Young Marine handbook. You have before I get on off top, continue on with the BD uniforms. Part of your uniform is to carry a notebook, so a pad of paper, nothing huge, something you can keep in your cargo pocket, small, maybe 4-inch in length by like 2 inches, 3 inches wide, just so you can write in with an ink stick different notes, whatever you may have. Your little red monsters. I don't have mine out right now. Mine's packed away in my sea bag because I'm in the process of moving things around in my room and clearing my room out. But you have your guidebooks. There's 5 guidebooks in total. As you were, I'm sorry, 4 guidebooks in total. I have 5. I have basic from when I started recruit. Name goes on the cover, and then you have all your ranks. The exact ranks are BYM 2-9. You can go over all your ranks, but it has also all uniform regulations. Start BYM 2-1, going all the way to BYM 2-6. And in another video, I'll go over regulations, or maybe this video, depending how I do on time. You have your basic Young Marine guidebook. It has places for you to write. It also shows you. Shows you service uniforms and patches and everything else in color in the back. You have that's your basic. Then you have junior guidebook, junior NCO for corporals and sergeants. Same thing, same order. It talks about basic drill movements, close order drill, DNC, goes all the way to field skills, leadership, public speaking, citizenship, and drug resistance. Then you have your senior NCO guidebook, which is staff sergeants and higher. It goes over the same exact stuff, but more in detail: DNC, um, qualified field skills, citizenship, leadership, public speaking, physical fitness. Um, this also talks about like how to perform duties as a good platoon leader and how to you have to show motivation. Then you have your advanced guidebook. Advanced guidebook, really knowledgeable. It's great for public speaking and leadership skills. For young Marine Master Sergeants and First Sergeants and Master Gunnery Sergeants and stuff like that. Talks about essential subjects, life skills, field skills, map and compass, resumes, how to search for a job. As young Marines get older, you learn to become more of an adult, and it teaches you the necessary skills you'll need. So those should be carried with you on all time. Those guidebooks are a little bigger, so they won't fit in your cargo pocket. But especially if you have a field gear bag, as I do, which is also packed away because I'm moving my gear. But you always have that in there, all ready to go with your hydration and such. Um, Another part of uniforms is you have your canteen with the canteen pouch. Buckle it up. And you have your canteen. Um, Make sure you wash it out regularly. If not, it'll smell. You wash it off, then let it air dry upside down. Make sure you try to get all that water out of there. If not, it will grow mold. These are a great opportunity for bacteria to housing, and they will. So you have to make sure you clean it out well. Don't use soap just because it's hard. Unless you're really good at getting the soap out of there, then you'll have soapy hydration. You have your canteen pouch. On your canteen pouch says US. That's the front side. You'll have your name tape. Your name tape will go right on the knitting. There's a knitting seam. It will go right there, and you'll center it on the pouch so it says your name. Of course, it's not going to be centered on the US. I'll put the canteen back in to make it easier so you guys can see. Okay, it does have a little pocket to the side, but you put it straight on so it says Sylvia Smith, or it would say your last name, right like that, and you would sew this on to the fabric. Don't use any weird color, orange, bright green, or blue pinks thread. Use OD green. Um, Use the color you're using. Same thing goes when you're sewing anything. If not, it'll stand out and you will flunk uniform inspection for that. You'll have your name tape on here. Then you have 3 different types of duty belts, web belts, war belts, whatever you want to call them. You have the standard one for the class, regular class. It says US on it. US, of course. You'll sticking straight out. Put it around you, and you buckle it in. Um, there's this type, and it's easy. Easy. Then you have where's the actual buckle itself. Um, this is the one I've been using recently. And you would also have someone blouse it on you so your uniform looks all good to go. And then you have this clasp, which is a little more difficult, which you have to bend inwards and out. And when you put it back, you go out and in like that, and it locks in place. I don't like these because they do come off a lot and very easily. But same thing, you can take a black Sharpie and on the inside band, you write your last name. So then you have your last name, but those are 3 types of duty belts, web belts, and then also on the back, you're able, which I should show this, you slide these up, put the web belt inside, you slide down, and you can hook it onto your web belt. It should be back here on your back, right above your belt line for your trousers, just so you're not hitting it in the front, but it's also you can just reach around you and grab your hydration as needed, or if you need a battle buddy, you have your battle buddy grab it for you. We continue on the BDU uniform. You have your chevrons. They go on angled. They don't go on flush. They go on angled. You have your name tapes. Name tape goes on the right breast side. It goes right above that top seam for that pocket. And you center your name, and you will trim it to the pocket. Don't leave it sticking out over. Trim it straight to the pockets. Mine's tattered and torn, and I have some Irish pennants on it, so it's actually shorter because the fabric keeps coming undone and undone. And then on your left hand side, you'll have your Young Marine name tape. On your left shoulder, you'll have your unit rocker. We have South Coast, and then Young Marines, and then you have your unit patch right above. This came undone, and then I used that Badge Magic stuff to try to put it back on. That stuff's awful. Never use it. Sew your patches on always, because it leaves this glue stuff, and I'll show you on my Charlies. Someone did it before me on my Charlies. So when I got issued my Charlies, now I have a stain on them. It wasn't even for me, but it looks bad on my service uniform now. But you leave. I ended up leaving a gap because I didn't do it correctly. If I sewed it on, it would have been nice and flush, just like this side, and that's how you want it. And that's on your left shoulder, and that's also even to that top seam, that shoulder seam right here that runs down. You want it centered on that, so when you put on your blouse, which when I'll do later on, you'll see how it fits. Then we're going to go into your alphas. I'll show you a picture of the alphas first, and then I'll go over showing you them. Okay, alphas. Also known as Service A's. Right there, this is the female version, but it consists of the green jacket with belt, Young Marine Service discs on collar. Same thing, the patches on the left shoulder. You can have a black name tape on the right hand side. I do not, but you are authorized to have one. The buttons are difficult on service uniforms. And then you have the belt that goes around, which covers this last bottom button. Underneath that, you wear the long sleeve khaki blouse. Unit patches are the same. No ribbons will be ever placed on this blouse. This is also known as your Bravos. If you wear just these with your green trousers, they're known as your Bravos or Service B uniforms. I've only done 2 events with them. Really don't use the Bravos, usually either Alphas or Charlies. Your Young Marine ranks, your chevrons, will go on here. Same thing, angled. You can wear a name tape also on this. And then no ribbons or other devices are authorized on this uniform. And then you have your Charlies. Now, also you would put the green coat over that and it becomes alphas. Ribbons can go in the alphas on the left-hand side, just like the regular BDU uniform I should have went over. They go on the left-hand side, 1/8 of an inch up past the Young Marine name tape, and your ribbons go on. You can go to chudup.com, I believe it is. It's just type in Young Marine ribbon checker. It pops up. You type in all the Young Marine ribbons you have. You click them off, and they tell you how to wear them and which ribbons go in what position, so it makes it easier for you. Then you have your Charlies. These are the Charlies. I also have the green trousers underneath, which I'll show you. And then I have my ribbons, 1/8 of an inch up. You have your on the left-hand shoulder. On the right side, you could have a name tape. Then you have your chevrons. Underneath Charlies, you will wear a white t-shirt. It is important. It's a plain white, either Hanes or Gildan, whatever company you decide to use, but a plain white t-shirt, just same regular cut as the PT shirts you are issued. Just because you don't want any V-necks and you don't want to see any chest line. It's regular cut, and you'll wear it, and you leave the top button unbuttoned for Charlie's. Bravos, I'll grab them. They stay buttoned, and you also have the tie. I have a clip-on tie. I don't like it. I rather have a regular tie. I know how to tie one, so it makes it easier for me. But clip-ons are nice when you're trying to get going fast and you don't have a lot of time. Uh, Take it on, you know, put it on, and then you just fix it over. But you wear the tie, the khaki tie, with you could wear a gold tie bar with them, a solid plain gold, and that's for your alphas and bravos. You'll do that. Then you wear your khaki belt, which I have on my trousers of my service uniforms, which is all the same trousers, by the way. The boots, as you are the Go Fast sneakers you will wear, are dress shoes. These are not the correct style. These are just dress shoes I have that I'm showing you what a dress shoe looks like. Um, you type in Oxford, high gloss dress shoes, military dress shoes. Amazon sells them. Rothko sells them. Any military surplus store might sell them, depending on which ones. Um, Army surplus stores, the actual Army surplus store sells them, and you can get them that way. So they're good to have. You'll use black kiwi shoe polish with them, and you'll shine them up. I'll show that with the same thing as the uniform care and maintenance video. And those are you got 2 PT uniforms, three service uniforms, and then you have BDUs. So altogether 6 uniforms you'll have as a young Marine, or um, you'll see a lot of different uniforms from either adult officers or adult training staff. They'll be wearing different uniforms depending, of course, on their job and what's authorized for them. But we'll go over boot brands. I'll also show this in the video on how to wear your uniforms. Your boot bands, green boot bands. Um, you'll get issued a single one, and you take them as if there's my ankle, and you would wrap it around, and you would use the hooks, and you would hook it on, and you cuff in, and it would cuff your trouser legs over your boots, so they look nice and neat and uniformed. Now, if you have to, like I find doubles all the time doing uniform inspections of bays. I'm sorry, as you were bay inspections, so barrack inspection, hoots inspections, whatever you would like to call it. As I'm walking around, I find them. Whose are these? Whose are these? No one wants to confess to them. It's just boot bands. You're gonna push maybe 10 push-ups just for a boot band. It's not that bad. Um, Most people don't own up to it. They have no integrity to say, "Oh, that's my boot band, Sergeant." Um, so I end up just with a bunch of boot bands at the end of an encampment, or especially for the unit or battalion encampments. Great for me. I'll keep them. They're fine until a young Marine comes to me. Oh, Sergeant, I forgot a boot band. I always have extra. Here you go. Use this. But take 2 of them, tie them together just like a regular call a right knot. You just over, just like you're starting to tie off your shoe, and you tie them together, and then you have like this, which is nice because then it's double thick. It'll never come undone, and you have 2, so you lock 2 around, and your boots will look perfect every single time. The blouse of your boots and your trousers will look perfect every single time. Um, they're great. I do that all the time for mine. You have your Young Marine patches individually, national patch, and then you have your unit rocker. I don't have an extra one of those that go over. You have your name tapes, your names, and then you have the one that says Young Marines. I'm not sure if it's going to be backwards. Same thing with any of the lettering. If it's going to be backwards during when I post this online or not. I don't know how my camera works yet. It's the first time doing a video with it. And then during the winter time, I'll go over this. With the BD uniform, the top button is always buttoned if you're a recruit. In South, you are not allowed to have the top button unbuttoned if you are a recruit. It has to be buttoned. Um, that's how regulation goes. Once you graduated, your top button is unbuttoned, and that's part of the whole graduation ceremony, which I will film this coming Tuesday, the 16th, June 16th. It'll be class boot camp class 2015-01 to 01501. Boot camp class will be graduating after this has been their 14th. I think they'll be graduating on their 14th week because boot camp's 13 weeks long. I'm not sure how fast I'll be able to post that, if it'll be myself or someone else, just because I leave for Army basic training, basic combat training Wednesday, that Wednesday, so I'm not sure who will be able to post that video. But different uniforms when you're wearing, as you were, different authorizations of uniforms, what to wear underneath the uniforms. You can wear your black sweatshirt with your cami BDU trousers, your t-shirt, depending if it's enlisted or NCO. Of course, some require white. As a recruit, you'll also wear a white t-shirt no matter what. Depends on units. Depends how it's run. Depends on the event, because you may do an event for a VFW and they're like, no, well, we want everybody in a red t-shirt, your red national t-shirt, just so you all look uniform. Whatever the commands are and the uniform of the day might be set by your officers and your chain of command. Underneath your uniforms, you have different gear you can wear. You have your black sweats you can wear, your black sweatshirt you can wear. So that would go straight over this. Let me find it. Over here on my bench. Black Young Marine sweat. It's like 80 degrees in my room. Okay. We'll go over. You can wear it. Make sure your tag sticks in. Every time we put them on, tags always tend to stick up automatically. And then, of course, your blouse can go over this in the wintertime if it's cold. Usually, it won't be that cold. Sometimes it is. In the case it's really cold, you can wear Under Armour. Wear short sleeve Under Armour. Don't wear long sleeve, because then when we have you take your blouses off, it's sticking underneath, and that's against regulation. But you can wear Under Armour underneath if you want to. Always wear your PT shorts underneath. I wear them underneath every single uniform, no matter what it is. No matter if it's a service uniform or what. Just because it's more comfortable that way. I feel sometimes, yeah, it gets a little hotter, but overall it's more comfortable. And especially if you need to change. Like, you just got done with a 3 mile parade and you're exhausted and you want to change out of uniform. You have now your white t-shirt, throw on your red t-shirt and your gear bag, and then you have your PT shorts and just throw on regular go fastest, and you're just in PTs, but then you're comfortable because you do not travel in a service uniform at all. Going to a parade in a vehicle that's 10 minutes away is one thing, but if you're going a distance, you do not travel in service uniforms. Um, and they get ruined if you travel in them. If you're trying to sit down for long, especially with a seatbelt. I'm not saying don't wear a seatbelt, always wear a seatbelt, but when you do wear your seatbelt and you're in any kind of uniform, seatbelts tend to mess up your uniform. So you don't want to travel long times in your service uniforms. They hit your ribbons depending on what side of the car you're on, and it just makes a mess and wrinkles up your uniform. So you never want to travel in them. Always possible. Even when I get to events, I travel in just a white t-shirt and the green trousers until I get to the event. Then we gear up and put everything else on. And then it's easier because then you have people blouse you up. And, of course, blousing, fixing the seams of your trousers and as you are your blouse and stuff like that. Then you have what's called a woolly-poly. OD sweatshirt, green sweaty, a woolly, um, called all kinds of different things, the different colors. A green one is authorized for service uniforms, not for your office, but for Bravos and Charlies are authorized. So if it's colder, you can wear a woolly poly. These are not. Sorry, that was my phone. You are not authorized. Um, as you are. You are not issued woolly polies through your young Marine career. Um, some units may be. South Coast in particular, at this very moment, you do not get that or a field jacket. So if it's raining, suck it up. Just put on your blouse and you're good to go. You'll get wet either way. It doesn't matter. Um, but you are authorized to wear them. Also underneath the green, underneath during the winter time, if you want to wear this instead of your black sweatshirt, I tend to wear this. It's a lot warmer. Gets very cold up here, especially in the winter time with the snow. It makes it easier for you. Those are your different uniforms. Trying to think, recap on missing anything. Waterproof spray, I do on my field uniform. This is just regular waterproof spray. I also do this on my jungle boots and my Go Fasters sneakers. Um, I'll go over that. Blouse is your jacket, shirt, trousers, pants. Go Faster sneakers. Your cover is your hat, headwear. Chevrons are your rank discs. Um, name tapes are tapes that say your name.